Cek. Sebelum saya mulai, mungkin ada salah satu partner saya, Pak Ian, mungkin boleh di-unmute, Pak, supaya guidance saya juga.
Oke, cek 1, 2, 3, 3, 2, 1. Clear suara saya atau kurang?
Oke, Pak Ian, suaranya saya terima. Terus dari saya juga suaranya oke, Pak?
Oke.
Oke. Pertama-tama saya mau sapa dulu ya, Pak Ian, kepada partisipan hari ini, sore semua. Saya lihat di sini, saya udah accept dan ternyata langsung full ya partisipannya. Wait, ada yang masih belum di-mute ya, sebentar. Oke. Mungkin Pak Ian juga bisa bantu lihat di situ partisipannya udah 100 sih, Pak. Jadi ada yang limit dan ada yang beberapa chat saya barusan. Pak udah limit tapi tenang aja, mungkin boleh diinfo juga dari tim Pak Ian atau dari tim admin Mesos di sini kepada peserta juga bisa melihat via YouTube ya, via YouTube-nya Kaplan Edupac. Oke, itu informasi dari saya. Lalu sebelum kita mulai, mungkin saya mau play tentang satu video pengenalan tentang Kaplan Edupac ya, sembari menunggu ada partisipan yang masih in dan out sih saat ini. Thank you all.
Sejak ikut kursus di Kaplan dan diajar sama teacher-teacher yang juga sangat sabar, ramah, dan mereka juga paham gimana caranya mengajarkan kritik dan GRI, saya jadi lebih pede gitu untuk mengerjakan soal-soal GRI.
Sangat membantu kami, para student, untuk bisa mencapai nilai tertinggi.
Dan mendapatkan tips-tips yang sangat membantu dari para pengajar untuk bisa menyelesaikan soal-soal di tes GRI dengan baik.
Dan saya melihat signifikansi kenaikan di mana hampir mendekati sempurna.
Para tutor yang luar biasa, yang untuk saya yang tadi tidak mengerti what is GRE, what is TOEFL, tapi mereka bisa membuat saya menjadi the most improvement untuk 3 kategori, the most improvement TOEFL, the most improvement GRE kuantitatif, dan the most improvement GRE verbal.
Oke, teman-teman, tadi ada video yang sudah kami putarkan mengenai tentang Kaplan Edupac itu seperti apa, tempat kursus kita seperti apa, dan alamatnya. Nah, sebelum kita mulai, mungkin aku bakal share dulu untuk rundown acara kita hari ini. Oke, mungkin boleh dibantu Pak, konfirmasi Pak Ian, apakah di layar kita udah keluar rundownnya? Di unmute dulu Pak, sorry nggak bisa Kak.
Rundownnya udah kelihatan.
Oke, teman-teman di sini bisa lihat ya, di sini rundownnya udah terlihat di layar masing-masing. Mungkin ada yang buka dari laptop, ada yang juga mungkin buka dari handphonenya. Nah, acara kita hari ini tentunya adalah belajar dan bekerja di Jerman. Nah, itu caranya gimana? Terus juga ada sedikit kalimat seperti kuliah gratis atau langsung kerja di sana. Pastinya dari kita sendiri, dari Kaplan itu sebagai course yang memang memberikan pelajaran untuk peningkatan bahasa Inggrisnya, bahasa asing, juga ada bahasa Jerman. Khusus hari ini itu bakal memberikan kesempatan untuk bisa achieve mengikuti beasiswa di negara Jerman. Oke, nah di sini dari rundown ini bisa dilihat kalau saat ini kita sebelum kita masuk ke eventnya, saya akan memberikan kesempatan kepada Pak Ian selaku representatif dari Kaplan Edupac untuk memberikan sedikit informasi program di Kaplan Edupac. Oke, untuk Pak Ian mungkin boleh dicek tes Pak suaranya.
Ya, radio cek.
Oke, dari Pak Ian apakah udah cukup Pak? Dari Pak Ian boleh dimulai Pak? Oke,
selamat sore semuanya peserta studi and work in Germany bersama Kaplan. Pada sore ini, kesempatan ini, saya dengan Ian dari tim Kaplan Edupac akan memberikan gambaran mengenai apa sih Kaplan Edupac itu. Semoga informasi ini dapat bermanfaat bagi kalian. Oke, kita sudah yakin Bapak ini ya, sudah banyak yang tahu mengenai apa sih itu Kaplan Edupac. Tapi bagi yang belum, mungkin ini kesempatan yang tepat untuk lebih mengenal lebih jauh apa itu Kaplan Edupac. Oke, nah jangan lupa nanti ikuti apa yang saya sampaikan, dan pada akhir sesi nanti akan saya berikan beberapa kuis ya, dan ini sangat menarik. Jadi ada diskon voucher nanti, diskon voucher senilai 1 juta. Dan jangan lupa juga untuk peserta acara ini, ada yang ingin mengikuti tes preparation seperti TOEFL, IELTS, SAT, GMAT maupun GRE. Nah, kita juga ada promo merdeka, ada cashback up to 1.700.000. Nanti bisa kalian scan barcode dari kami. Oke. Next, Kak Richard, silakan.
Sebelum kita melanjutkan ke slide selanjutnya, mungkin saya mau menginformasikan sebentar kepada partisipan. Di sini memang saat ini mikrofonnya kita turn off semua, cuma nanti di sesi Q&A kita bakal aktifin dan ada kesempatan untuk bertanya. Oke, thank you. Pak Ian, boleh lanjut, silakan.
Oke. Ya, the world leader in test preparation. Jadi Kaplan ini dikenal sebagai salah satu satu-satunya penyedia tes preparation, ujian terbesar di dunia. Nah, di mana keunggulan dari Kaplan ini, satu adalah sudah cukup lama, lebih dari 80 tahun telah memberikan jasa persiapan tes sebagai salah satu sekolah terbesar ya di dunia yang concern di persiapan ujian. Oke, nah yang kedua adalah Kaplan ini sudah tersebar lebih dari 240 pusat studi di dunia. Jadi tidak hanya di Indonesia, tentunya ada di Singapura, di Aussie, UK, dan lain-lainnya. Nah, di mana terdapat 162 pusat studi di Amerika. Oke, ya, perlu diingat ya, jadi itu yang pertama adalah 80 tahun, kedua ada 240 pusat studi. Dan yang ketiga adalah dengan pengalaman selama ini, Kaplan telah membantu lebih dari 3 juta siswa. Jadi untuk mempersiapkan diri menghadapi ujian dalam mencapai tujuan, baik ke perguruan tinggi maupun ke jenjang karir mereka. Oke, jadi adalah 3 itu tadi, di mana 80 tahun kita sudah ada di dunia, kemudian 240 pusat studi, kemudian kita sudah lebih dari 3 juta siswa yang mempersiapkan ujian melalui Kaplan ya. Oke, next. Nah, kenapa sih kita perlu ambil preparation di Kaplan ya? Jadi ini patut untuk dicatat ya, istilahnya dan diingat bahwa Kaplan ini satu-satunya sekolah persiapan ujian yang mempunyai website sendiri. Mungkin ya kita tahu ya, www.captex.com. Dan ini sangat bagus. Jadi di website kita ini mirip dengan tes resmi secara online dari US. Nah, seperti kita tahu ya bahwa sekarang ini sudah banyak program-program yang online. Jadi karena student juga perlu latihan skill strategi maupun time manajemennya. Karena apalagi dalam masa pandemi seperti ini kita perlu harus ekstra istilahnya di rumah juga mempersiapkan kalau ada rencana mengenai studi lanjut ataupun di pekerjaan. Jadi kalian bisa pilih lembaga yang sudah punya latihan mirip dengan aslinya, tentunya di Kaplan ya. Oke, dan yang kedua, kenapa sih kita harus ambil di Kaplan? Nah, kita sudah provide material sendiri, jadi original material. Ya tentunya sudah melalui research and development, di mana ahli bahasa kita dapat memberikan material yang update, menyesuaikan dengan perkembangan. Nah, yang ketiga, kenapa di Kaplan? Kita punya guru yang berkualifikasi tinggi. Nah, di mana guru-guru kita ini yang berpengalaman dalam mengajar, sehingga dapat dipastikan setiap siswa itu mendapatkan teacher yang dapat membimbing untuk meningkatkan nilai atau skor siswa itu sendiri. Nah, kemudian apa aja sih yang ada di Kaplan? Nah, Kaplan Edupac sendiri ada mempunyai beberapa program. Next, Kak Richard. Ya, ini beberapa program kita Kaplan Edupac. Jadi ada TOEFL IBT, kemudian IELTS, ada TOEFL ITP, SAT maupun GMAT dan GRE. Nah, di samping itu kita juga punya bagi mereka yang ingin meningkatkan bahasa Inggris ataupun improve bahasa Inggris, kita punya program General English, kemudian ada untuk academic writing, ada business English untuk profesional, kemudian ada English for academic purpose, conversation skill, dan masih banyak lagi program-program kita. Nah, di mana kalau untuk tes prep-nya kita sudah punya slogan di sini adalah higher score guarantee, jadi peningkatan skornya. Oke, nah itulah tadi beberapa program, jadi perlu diingat ya. Jadi nanti siapa tahu ada pertanyaan-pertanyaan mengenai ini, silakan. Ada yang mencatat silakan. Oke, next Kak Richard. Ya. Ini adalah placement test result dari kami, dari Kaplan. Jadi setiap student yang mengikuti program-program di Kaplan tentunya sesuai dengan masing-masing ya. Seperti TOEFL itu nanti ada diagnostic testnya. Jadi TOEFL itu ada 4 section: reading, listening, speaking, dan writing. Mungkin ada yang tahu di sini bahwa top score untuk TOEFL IBT adalah di 120. Oke. Nah, kemudian ada juga program IELTS preparation. Nah, ini sama, ada 4 section juga. Jadi ada reading, listening, speaking, writing juga. Nah, kemudian kedua untuk tes ini adalah berlaku, skornya adalah 2 tahun. Nah, kemudian selanjutnya ada program SAT, Scholastic Aptitude Test. Jadi di sini untuk S1, top skor untuk SAT ini sendiri 1.600. Ini adalah diagnostik tesnya. Dan ini sangat bagus sekali, jadi sudah mirip dengan aslinya, jadi kita juga tahu, mana kira-kira yang masih ada weakness dan sebagainya. Oke, untuk placement test research selanjutnya, ya, ini adalah untuk yang rekan-rekan di sini, barangkali ada yang mau lanjut master pun, nah kita juga ada program mengenai GMAT, Graduate Management Admission Test, sama Graduate Record Exam atau GRE. Nah, ini skor untuk GMAT adalah 800, kemudian GRE test skor ini juga 170 untuk kuantitatif, kemudian verbalnya adalah 170, analytical writing-nya 6 skornya. Dan masa berlaku untuk skor Jum'at GRE ini adalah 5 tahun. Oke. Nah, inilah beberapa placement test result. Nah, mungkin kita selanjutnya adalah ada beberapa testimoni ya dari para student ya, student-student kita yang sudah mendapatkan skor yang cukup bagus. Jadi ini adalah beberapa skor di IELTS. Seperti contoh adalah dari Christopher Bursa. Nah, dia sudah tercapai skornya 8,5. Jadi pada saat pertama dia tercapai skornya 7. Kemudian Muhammad Gaiskari Putra ini juga sama. Jadi dia sudah mendapatkan 8 skornya, di mana di awal kurang lebihnya dia dapat skor 7. Jadi perlu digarisbawahi ya. Jadi mereka yang punya skor tinggi pun 7 masih perlu untuk persiapan ataupun preparation untuk mendapatkan skor yang lebih maksimal. Terlebih lagi kalau kejar scholarship, ya udah kejar setinggi mungkin. Ini adalah 2 student yang ada testimoni kita. Untuk selanjutnya Kak Richard, silakan testimoni. Ya, nah ini demikian juga ada student ya tidak hanya mengikuti satu preparation, tetapi ada beberapa contoh student kita juga mengambil 2 preparation, TOEFL dan GMAT. Ya, di situ sudah tercantum bahwa skornya adalah 111 di TOEFL ITT, kemudian di GMAT-nya ada 650. Ini satu contoh. Kemudian ada satu contoh student untuk yang SAT program, dia sudah tercapai 1.540 dari top score 1.600. Sangat bagus sekali. Jadi di awal dia sudah istilahnya sudah dapat skor 1.200, 1.280. Nah, ini pencapaian yang sangat bagus sekali. Jadi dia bisa, kalian pasti bisa. Yang penting adalah komitmen, fokus, dan mau melakukannya. Oke, next Kak Rita. Ya, ini beberapa student experience ya dari salah satu company atau perusahaan yang telah mengikuti preparation di kami. Jadi banyak ya company-company yang sudah mempercayakan Kaplan Edupac untuk para karyawannya untuk mengikuti preparation di sini, baik itu TOEFL, IELTS, kemudian GMAT, GRE, dan hasilnya cukup lumayan dan cukup bagus. Oke, next selanjutnya Kak Rita, beberapa ini company-company kita yang klien-klien kita yang sudah ada di kami juga, ini adalah perusahaan-perusahaan juga yang sudah mengirimkan karyawannya ke Kaplan Edupac. Oke, next Kak Rita. Ya. Oke, nah untuk mengenai Kaplan Edupac sendiri tadi sudah saya sampaikan. Nah, ini adalah satu informasi yang perlu kalian ketahui adalah kita punya edu expert. Jadi Kaplan Edu Expert ini di mana kalian nanti akan dibantu konsultasi ya, free konsultasi mengenai studi keluar. Baik itu dari nanti online registration, student visa, flight ticket, accommodation, briefing pre-departure, kemudian untuk pengurusan admission dokumen dan sebagainya. Nah, kebetulan di sini juga akan ada PIC-nya ya, di sini ada Kak Richard. Nanti kalian bisa, jangan sungkan lah istilahnya, jangan ragu untuk tanya ke Kak Richard. Jadi untuk menanyakan mengenai studi ke luar negeri. Oke, Kak Richard.
Ya, oke Pak Ian. Mungkin sebelum kita lanjutin, saya pengen informasi juga ke teman-teman di sini. Saya Richard selaku representatif dari Kaplan Edu Expert untuk melakukan admission student-student di sini yang memang ada rencana untuk ke luar negeri. Jadi mungkin tadi sudah disampaikan dengan cukup baik oleh Pak Ian mengenai apa itu TOEFL, apa itu IELTS, dan untuk S2 itu harus juga mengenal GMAT GRE. Nah, kalau untuk TOEFL atau IELTS sendiri kan pastinya adalah satu sertifikasi untuk bahasa Inggris yang memang diwajibkan kalau memang ada rencana untuk ke luar negeri. Oke. Untuk bagian study abroad ini ya memang di sini saya ditugaskan untuk pengurusan Jadi kalau misalkan ada teman-teman di sini yang pengen tanya, Kak, kalau misalkan saya pengen ke negara lain ataupun khususnya hari ini ada negara Jerman, berarti nanti saya dibantu urus dari dokumen, translate dokumen, terus juga upload dokumen, sampai dengan dokumen apa yang perlu dipersiapkan, sampai urus visa. Yes, itu juga saya. Oke, thank you, Pak. Pak Ian, boleh lanjutin?
Ya, oke. Oke, untuk selanjutnya, slide-nya, Kak. Ya, ini seperti yang telah saya sampaikan tadi, bahwa kita punya promo Merdeka untuk kalian ya, yang berencana ikut persiapan preparation ya, TOEFL, IELTS, GPAT, GRE maupun SAT. Nah, cashback up to 1.700.000. Nah, kalian bisa scan untuk klaim promo ini, ada di sebelah kanan bawah. Silahkan. Jadi mungkin kita kasih waktu 5 detik Kak Richard ya, untuk mereka bisa scan barcode-nya.
Oke, untuk teman-teman di sini mungkin bisa dilihat di layarnya masing-masing, baik dari yang laptop bukanya atau yang buka dari handphone, itu boleh kalian scan barcode-nya saat ini terus di-save, atau boleh di-screenshot aja supaya apa namanya tersimpan. Karena ini kan lumayan, memang masih ada promo Merdeka untuk yang emang ada rencana untuk ambil program atau kursus di Kaplan Edupac. Oke. Cukup, kurasa Pak Ian, saya lanjutin ya.
Next.
Ya.
Ya, tiba saatnya ini adalah diskon voucher ya, 1 juta untuk beberapa pertanyaan. Oke, kalian silahkan. Siapa cepat nanti mohon ditulis ya di chat siapa dulu, nanti mohon dibantuan Kak Rita ataupun Kak Erni untuk melihat siapa namanya yang akan menjawab. Jadi kalian bisa langsung chat, kemudian nanti dipanggil, aktifkan mic dan videonya atau kameranya, jadi nanti tinggal menjawab. Oke, Kak Rita, menyingkat waktu, saya akan berikan pertanyaan pertama ya, Kak. Jadi, kira-kira ada yang tahu nggak sih apa keunggulan dari Kaplan Edupac ini sendiri? Oke, silakan. Siapa, Kak?
Saya Kak. Saya, Pak. Ada 3 keunggulan. Yang pertama itu teacher-nya yang berkualifikasi tinggi dan original material, dan ada punya web sendiri.
Ya, oke. Ya, ya. Muhammad Nazril ya, Kak Rizal?
Ya.
Oke,
ya,
untuk
silakan.
Muhammad Nazril.
Panggilannya siapa ini? Nazril atau?
Nazril, Pak.
Oke, Nazril, nanti nomor mobilenya bisa dicek di situ ya, nanti supaya kami catat untuk mendapatkan voucher 1 juta ya, Kak?
Baik, Pak.
Iya,
Oke.
Muhammad Nazril, sorry sebelumnya, dari sekolah atau dari kampus mana?
Ya.
Dari sekolah.
Oh, sekolah apa nih? Boleh disebutin nama sekolahnya?
SMA Negeri 1 Luliang.
Oke, dari Pak Ian nanti tinggalkan saja di chat ke tim kita atau Pak Ian, nomor handphonenya sama ini supaya bisa mendapatkan voucher dari kita. Oke?
Oke.
Di chat tim ya?
Selamat ya, Nazril. Oke, pertanyaan kedua nih.
Selamat ya.
Oke, pertanyaan kedua.
Terima kasih, Kak.
Ada yang tahu nggak sih, ada beberapa program di Kaplan Edupac, tolong sebutkan minimal 4 program yang ada di Kaplan Edupac. Oke, silakan.
Saya, Kak.
Yuk, siapa namanya?
Rizky Olivia.
Oke, Rizky Olivia, silakan bisa dijawab.
1. General English. 2. Academic Writing.
Ya.
3. Business English.
Oke.
4. Conversation Skill.
Oke, good. Oke, Kak Rizky Olivia ya, jadi pemenang kedua untuk mendapatkan voucher diskon 1 juta. Jadi nanti tolong Kak Rizky Olivia diberikan nomor mobilenya ke tim kami untuk kami catat. Oke, selamat ya untuk yang kedua.
Sekali lagi selamat kepada Rizky Olivia. Jangan lupa nanti di kolom chat atau nanti di chat kepada tim kita disebutkan nama lengkapnya, nomor handphonenya, asal sekolah atau kuliah dari
asal
mana.
Sekolahnya, ya.
Ya.
Oke.
Thank you, Pak
Ya,
Ian.
pertanyaan ketiga. Nah, pertanyaan ketiga, oke. Ada yang tahu nggak skor TOEFL, IBT, dan skor IELTS? Silakan. Top skor TOEFL IBT ataupun top skor IELTS. Ada yang bisa jawab?
$8,0, Pak.
Top skornya, Kak. Top skornya IELTS.
Hello.
Oke. Ya, oke Kak, mungkin untuk sementara itu dulu Kak, karena waktunya sudah kita lewat. Jadi Kak Richard, kita langsung kembalikan untuk segera memulai untuk acara Alpadia-nya. Oke, thank you ya.
Oke, sekali lagi selamat kepada para pemenang. Jangan lupa klaim vouchernya kepada tim kita atau boleh direct chat ke Pak Ian. Lalu tak lupa sebentar lagi sebelum kita masuk ke event utama hari ini, di mana udah siap tuh kayaknya representatifnya dari orang Jermannya langsung, ya kan? Saat ini dia lagi di kota Berlin, jadi beda 6-8 jam dengan kita. Untuk Pak Ian, sekali lagi terima kasih untuk informasinya, juga pengenalan tentang apa itu Kaplan Edupac. Terus juga untuk teman-teman di sini, jangan lupa kalau misalkan pengen bertanya atau apa, nanti boleh di kolom chat ini sama di screen. Mungkin saya coba cek ya, apakah ada nomor kontak kita. Oh, ada nih, sorry. Oke, di layar udah muncul Pak Ian, sorry.
Ya, udah muncul. Oke,
di layar kalian bisa dilihat ini ada email ataupun nomor handphone dari Pak Ian selaku untuk representatif dari kalau pengen tanya program-program Kaplan Edupac. Ada yang kebutuhan untuk English, TOEFL, IELTS silakan. Terus untuk S2 juga ada Jum'at GRI. Sedangkan kalau ada yang pengen tanya-tanya tentang dokumen kelengkapan atau gimana caranya untuk persiapan berangkat luar negeri, itu boleh ke saya. Oke, sekali lagi Pak Ian, thank you.
Yuk, thank you.
Ya, saya lanjutkan ya. Oke, now I want to say hi to Mr. Arzhang. Hello, Arzhang.
Hey.
Yeah, you can check your sound. Check.
Check. Do you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you.
Amazing.
So now you can say about your program. You can share your PPT.
Sure, absolutely.
Okay.
All right, I'm going to share my screen with you. Please let me know if it's all working, and then I pick up from there. Is it all good? Wonderful. Thank you, Ricard. Okay, hello guys. This is Arzhang Mani from Berlin. I'm very happy to be here. I hope that in the next half an hour-ish, I'll be able to give you significant information regarding studying and working in Germany, but also I will tell you how we can help you to facilitate this process. At the end of the session, we have a Q&A section where you will be able to write your questions and I will be here to answer them. Studying and working in Germany. The agenda for today is in 5 parts. First, I talk about who we are, who I am, why are we capable of telling you how to actually study and work in Germany and why you should opt for that. Alpadia's pathway program in detail, what it is and how and why it will facilitate your process. What are the perks of studying in Germany? And then afterwards, we move on to what are the advantages of working in Germany as an international skilled worker. Then we move on to the Q&A session. As said, until Q&A session, I will roughly need 30 minutes of your time. We are Alpadia Language Schools, headquartered in Switzerland. Since 1996, we are a part of Kaplan family, one of the leaders of the study abroad industry. We specialize in teaching German and French in Switzerland, Germany, and France. But also we have camps for younger generation, for teenagers, in the UK. What might be interesting for you to know is that we have over 7,500 students per year learning languages with us. Since 2016, we have launched our academic pathway program in Germany, and we bring students like you, international, from anywhere in the world to public German universities. We assess the process and we make sure the process is smooth. Since past years, since 2020, we have also introduced the career pathway program in Germany, which helps international skilled workers, which I will talk about, who our target audience is, to come to Germany and to find a job, to work here, right? All right, let's move on. My name is Arzhang. I'm the head of Pathways program. My colleague, Juliane Thoron, is the Pathways coordinator. In case you guys actually enroll, you will be mostly in touch with us. Nevertheless, we have Pathways advisors who speak in several languages. Of course, with the Edupac, Kaplan Edupac, in between us, we have no language barrier and nothing. So you are in good hands for sure. A little bit about me, who I am, and why am I the ambassador of Pathways at Alpadia. I'm Iranian. I did my bachelor's studies actually in Iran. When I was 23 years old, I moved to Switzerland. I studied at a pretty good university called ETH Zurich in materials and economics. That was my master's degree. And then I moved to the United States and did my research stay, my master's thesis at MIT, one of the best schools in the world. After having seen Switzerland and United States, I tried to look for a place where I could quickly establish myself as a foreigner, to be able to open up my own business, to be able to feel settled. And that's why I moved to Germany. Germany offered me all the things that I wanted, and I'm happily ever after living here. Germany and Berlin has become my final destination. I will tell you more about why this is the case. I did a PhD in material science in Germany, and after that I moved to Berlin. Nevertheless, in between, I have worked for bigger companies like ABB, small spin-offs like Green Tech, and most importantly for our student applicants, I have worked at an organization called UniAssist. And UniAssist is the organization in charge of giving you admissions to German public universities. So among you, those who want to study in Germany have to deal with UniAssist, and I have been there. I have sat there and worked as evaluator, and I know inside out how the admission process works for you guys. All right, enough about me. At Alpadia, we offer intensive German courses in Berlin and Freiburg. Intensive German course is a requirement for getting a visa as a preparation for studying or working, and we offer that. You have full support with recognition, visa application, any sort of concern that you might have on your way to Germany, regardless of whether you come to Germany to study or to work as a professional. We are there for you to answer your questions, smoothen your path. We have the official German language tests here. Once you come to us and learn your German and finish learning German at a very high level, let's say advanced level, we call it C1, the C1 level, then you have the possibility to also take the official language tests at our center in Berlin and Freiburg. Accommodation is a big topic in Germany. It's really hard to find accommodation in Germany, especially in cities which are popular like Berlin. And we have our own accommodation, and you don't need to worry about those stuff. And airport transfer and things which generally help you feel comfortable and welcomed are always there. Most importantly, we have cultural activities next to our language courses, which I will be talking about. I will show you some videos about that. I have two videos for you, one from our school in Berlin, one from our school in Freiburg, each of them 2 to 3 minutes. I will narrate on them so that you have an idea what is going on. This is our school in Berlin. No, this is actually not our school, but here you go. One of our language students was nice enough to allow us to film him. This is his room at Alpadia. We are at the center of Berlin. It's a district called Schöneberg. It's very liberated, alternative, very free-spirited. We have students from really all around the world. A lot of Europeans, a lot of Italians, Spaniards, French, but also we have a lot of Asians, a lot of South Americans. That's the good thing, because in your classroom, you have to talk in German. Also outside your class with other students, you barely find many students from the same country, or even many people who would speak English. So German is really the common language, which is important. Our classes are organized in a way that you will be doing a lot of collaborative work, a lot of teamwork with the other students. So it's not a kind of teaching that teacher stands there and talks all the time, but you are doing a lot of interaction. After the school, in the afternoon, there are a lot of cultural events almost every day. Alpadia organizes something. one of our Alpadia staff joins you. It's either a tour in the city. Sometimes we go out to bars, to restaurants together. We go to other cities. We watch German movies and then we discuss that in German. So it's not only about the language school and the language course by itself in the morning, but also all the immersion that comes also after that in the city, in the society, that makes us very much different and makes your stay wonderful. We put a lot of value on sports activities as well, on top of the cultural events and so on and so forth. All right, that said, let's move on to our school in Freiburg. Freiburg is a city in the southwest of Germany, closer to France and Switzerland. The vibe is completely different than Berlin. It's more of a small town, more, cuter, not that urban. It's more German, I would say, right? It has very deep roots in the German culture. It's closer to the nature. You have actually a huge forest close to Freiburg called Schwarzwald, the Black Forest. And we do a lot of cultural activities, sports activities, and excursions also to that region of Germany. The campus by itself is amazing. It's a beautiful palace, so to speak, with a nice garden. Whenever I'm there, I just enjoy sitting there and reading something. It's a wonderful place to be, depending on what your character is, like what you like, a bigger city or rather a tiny, calmer city. You might opt for Berlin or Germany indeed. All right. That said, the standard with the rooms and all the stuff is almost the same. You have all the comfort necessary, and the cultural activities after the school are also there in Freiburg. Whereas in Freiburg, it's a little bit more towards nature and excursions, which are, not that happening like Berlin in terms of nightlife or urban areas, but also you have more natural resources for that. Okay. Alpadia Pathways program. For the academic pathway program, for those of you who want to come to Germany to study at a public university, there are a few requirements. The first requirement is that you would be ready to learn German. There are a few programs taught in English in Germany. Nevertheless, for your integration, for your work in German, for your future, you need to learn German. That's important, even if you end up in programs taught in English. But majority, 90% of programs in Germany are taught in German, so you have to sort of learn German for those. You need to be ready for learning this language anew. So if you are there, if you are committed, we are with you. You need to have rather good grades, whether it is from your high school, whether it is for your university, depending on what your last grades and last academic status is, right? You need to bring rather good grades with you. Germany is not that grade sensitive, like I would say Canada, for example, but still we try to look for good grades among our applicants so that you are sort of successful here and don't have a problem with the material that you need to learn. There is a blocked account in Germany, what you need to have for your visa. And that is around 10,000 euros per year, 10,000 euros per year, for you to spend on your living costs. But Germany asks you to put that in a blocked account and gives you 1/12 of that money, your money, every month to yourself. So nobody's taking that money away from you, but you need to have that money to guarantee Germany that you are financially secure. And every year it's the same story. This year is finished. For next year and for your prolongation of visa, you need to prove having that money or those funds. There are ways around it. For example, you can work as a student, or somebody can support you. There are ways around it, but generally for you to have an idea of how much are the annual living costs in Germany for a student, we are talking about 10,000 euros. Of course, the city where you live is important. Some cities are more expensive, like Munich and Hamburg. Some are less expensive. Depends, but generally around 10,000 euros. We give you access to all the German universities. We do not differentiate between German universities trying to push you towards one. No. With us, you get access to all the higher education landscape in Germany, and we optimize that together for your specific case. Of course, sometimes For example, if you want to study medicine in Germany, you need to have very good grades, and we will tell you, hey, you don't have the really good chances for these cities or these universities or for this discipline at all. So you will get an honest feedback from us, and you optimize your process. Shortlisting the universities is one of the most important things we do together. What is the process? We go with the pre-evaluation. It's free of charge. You supply the information about your past, your current status, and your future requirements, what you want to study, where do you see yourself in the future. With that, we do a pre-evaluation, free of charge. We tell you, hey, this is the path that we have put together for you. That's a roadmap and a timeline with that. Then you enroll in our Pathways program, and with that, we do the university application. With university application, you get a conditional letter of admission, which allows you to go for a visa. With visa application, you can come to us in Freiburg or in Berlin, step number 4, and learn German with us. Then step number 5, you take the German test after having learned German with us, and after that, you are ready to basically go for universities that you want. Of course, you have a conditional admission letter from step 2, but you might say, no, I want more universities, or I want other cities, other universities. Yes, for sure. You have all the options beneath your feet. Step number 7 is when we come in and say, okay, now you have all the requirements. Let's go for a final round of application for those universities and study programs that you really want to attend in Germany. And after that, you start your studies in Germany. This process can take up to 1 year, 1.5 years usually. This whole thing depends on which level of German you come in. If your German is already very good with you when you join us, then it takes shorter. If you are having low levels of German, then it takes longer, obviously. All right, I will show you a little bit of our cost structure, because when I say 10,000 euros per year of living cost, one might think, okay, I need 800, 900 euros per month and I'm good. Yes, of course. But that's when you enter university. Before that, when you do your preparation in Germany with us, the language preparation, you have other costs. You have the tuition fee cost, you have our packages cost for the help that we give you with all the admission process and stuff, but also your living costs are higher. I have put 2 columns here together to give you an idea. The first column is for 3 months of stay with us, and the second column is for 6 months of stay with us. In total, for 3 months, you end up with some 8,000 euros of costs, which is for your language preparation every day, 4 hours every day from Monday till Friday. Then you have 1,400 euros of your Pathways packages, which is the university application, the first round, assistance with visa application, university placement. This is just an example. It can be lower. It can be lower. This is the VIP package, so to speak. You have everything with us, right? You can minimize some of this, but just an example so that you know what you're signing up for, right, roughly. And then the biggest portion of these costs is here, the room, the student room, the rent, actually. This is the biggest portion of your costs. So if you have friends to stay with, if you can arrange your own accommodation, no problem at all. We are fine with that. But if you come and join our accommodations are expensive in Germany. The university accommodation later on when you become a student is cheap. That's why your costs go down afterwards when you become a student. But as long as you are not an official German university student, the costs are a bit higher. That said, these kind of investments, these numbers of investment, pay off, because afterwards, when you become a student in Germany, you have around 10,000 euros of cost per year for studying and living altogether. And you can make actually all that money through working as a student. I'll talk about that over the next slides. But that is basically the kind of investment that you need to think of. And as compared to many other countries like US, UK, I don't know, whatever, it's nothing, right? All right. Career Pathway Program. This is for those of you who want to come to Germany and work. This is for those of you who are already professionals in Indonesia. That means you have already finished some levels of studies, usually academic or vocational degrees. If you are an IT expert, that's an exception. IT experts don't need necessarily a degree, but they need to show that they are really experts. But the rest of the programs, you really need some academic degree, right? And you need to have very successful career track to be able to prove that I have been a very good mechanical engineer. I have been a very good project manager in Indonesia. And with that, we can work on towards bringing you to Germany to actually start directly working at a company in Germany or at an organization. This is also the same story for doctors and nurses and medical experts. I will talk about that in details over the next slides. The process is also pretty similar to the study applicant, to the academic pathway program. There is a free evaluation. Then we do the recognition process. Germany needs to recognize your academic and career background. Then you go for visa application. You come to us and arrive in Germany. You learn languages with us. At the same time, you get career coaching, which is about applying for jobs, getting your certificates together, what to say in interview, what kind of salary to ask for, what are the do's and don'ts, so to speak. You find a job and settle down. And then if you have family back at home, meaning husband, wife, children, they can join you upon that. Okay. The cost structure for career pathway program is almost similar. You have a little bit higher costs of our career pathway packages, but you have lower costs of language preparation because sometimes it's not mandatory and it can be, it doesn't have to be intensive and all this stuff. But nevertheless, we're talking about you should look at these sums, right? For 3 months, around 8,500 euros. For 6 months, around 14,000 euros. This is the total number that you should be having in mind, sort of. Okay. Now we go purely and talk about why studying in Germany. What makes Germany attractive for international students? The next 6 slides are about studying in Germany. Afterwards, I have another 6 slides about working in Germany. Nevertheless, all of them important for you guys if you consider Germany as an option for your future. German public universities do not have a tuition fee for Germans, for Europeans, and for non-Europeans. This is great. If you compare it even to Sweden, even to Netherlands, we're not comparing to UK and US, even to these countries, when you compare Germany, that's amazing. They do not differentiate between local, European, and overseas. They say, whoever you are, we invest in your education. Because, of course, German education costs, and it costs a lot of money, but who pays that? The public funds. That means you get a tuition waiver. That is a sort of scholarship by itself, automatically, because very often students ask, do you also help us with getting a scholarship? And we say, well, guess what? The fact that you study at a public university is a kind of scholarship. Actually, your study cost, every student in Germany costs 10,000 euros per year for the government, for the public funds, to be able to study at a higher education. Okay, that said, living costs in Germany are low. If you compare Germany to even Spain, even Italy, even Greece, I mean to UK for sure, the costs are much lower. If you compare a city like Berlin with London and Paris, this comparison it's just uncomparable how cheap Germany can be. A student dorm room can be as low as 400 euros. It can go even lower. It can go to 250 euros, depending on the city where you live in, obviously. The food is around 160 euros per month, clothing 40 euros, semester tickets 75 euros per month. This is already this tuition fee that was in the previous slide from 0 to 300 euros is already included there. The health insurance is 100 euros. It includes your, all emergency stuff, every aspect of your health, actually. Even your teeth are included in that if you go to the dentist. Telephone and internet are usually 30 euros per month. It's much lower if you live in a student dorm. It's actually usually included. Working materials, 20 euros, and culture, sport, recreation, 60 euros. Even sports is included in your university package. That said, this sums up to 920 euros per month. This is rather generously calculated. That means you can drive this number down by a couple of hundred euros if you have the urge, obviously. Very high quality of education. Wherever you study in Germany, your degree is going to be recognized globally. In Indonesia, anywhere else, if you want to go after Germany to other countries for whatever reasons, you have all that option. in Germany, there is a very close tie between academia and industry. So you have the option to work in industry, you have the option of internships, you have even the option of studying abroad for a semester, doing an exchange semester. Nobody differentiates you really with the local students. You have all the options that local students have. And most importantly, as an international student, you feel welcomed here. And this is very important. If you, like me, had experienced Switzerland and USA and would come to Germany, you would understand the importance of this, because living somewhere, you want to be at home. And when you want to be at home, you want people, you want the system, you want the rules to welcome you. And that is the case in Germany, actually. The reason for that, maybe I should mention that too, is that Germany has an aging population. A lot of people are retiring, going through retirement, and they need international youth, international talent to fill the gap. This is known by the German authorities, this is known by the German people. So nobody sees you as a burden, as a extra cost, no, you are here and everybody wants you to stay, to be successful and be a part of German economy in the end. Number 4, this is also a significant fact about Germany. You can work during your studies in Germany, actually part-time, just like German students. Part-time, 50% of your time you're allowed to work as a student. And after your studies, you have 18 months of job seeker visa. We have applicants who contact us from, let's say, Switzerland or other countries and say, my study is finishing by the end of September, and my visa is also to the end of September. Afterwards, I have no visa. I'm saying, like, okay, some kind of prolongation, like a few weeks, few months, so that you transit to another country. I say, no, they sort of throw us back at our home country. And Germany is not like that. It's not brutal. You have 18 months to look for a job because Germany wants you to stay, actually. It's the goal that you hopefully stay after your studies. Okay, that said, as a student, you have high living standards, you have affordable, cool life, depending on the city, of course, where you live in. Some cities like Munich are very expensive, much more expensive than Berlin and stuff, but you have a cool, vibrant student life. You're at the heart of Europe with a bus, with a shared car, with a train. You can easily go to France, Netherlands, Spain, Italy. Everything is under your feet. You can really enjoy the cultural diversity of Europe by being in Germany. An exchange semester, something which is open to Europeans and Germans, is also open to you if you want to do an exchange semester anywhere in the world, from US to Australia. This is a possibility wherever you study in Germany. Every German university has very good exchange possibilities with global universities. And last but not least, number 6, where we come in as a language school, is that you can learn German in Germany to prepare for your studies. That means that you don't have to completely learn German at your home country, but you usually have to learn a portion of it at home country, usually until B1 degree. And then the rest, which gets actually very tough because accent becomes important, intonation becomes important. You really want to be in the society to learn that levels of German, that you can do with us in Germany. For that, there is a special kind of visa called study applicant visa for non-EU applicants, which is different than study visa. And you can get that, and you have up to 2 years to prepare your German and then enter the higher education or university in Germany. All right. We talked about the perks of studying in Germany. Now I'm going to talk about why you should consider working in Germany. Now, this is usually for those who directly come here to Germany to work, professionals, skilled workers, but also relevant for those of you who first want to study or have to study in Germany and afterwards can stay in Germany and work. And with these slides, you see a little bit of the prospects in the future, what is waiting for you. Germany has open door policy for international skilled workers. Germany needs between 276,000 to 491,000 non-EU immigrants per year to cover the workforce crisis due to aging population. This is crazy. The current numbers with the refugees, with all the incoming people, is not enough to cover the number of people who are going to retirement. That's why we need up to 490,000, up to 500,000 of more people from non-EU countries to come in to fill the gap. The urge is huge. The need for doctors, engineers in Germany is incredible. Living costs, we have talked about this. This is the same story as the academic part. Living costs are pretty low in Germany as compared to other countries. We have high quality of life. Germany is ranked 4th after Switzerland, Japan, and Canada in terms of quality of life. But as an immigrant, I would say it's even better than many of these countries, because as an immigrant, you have other factors involved in the quality of life. You want to feel welcomed, for example. The health insurance coverage is great in Germany. Global professional network is there. You're connected. Usually your companies are very well connected, or they are even international companies all around the world. It's working in Germany, you will be involved in innovation. Everything is state of the art. For example, when we talk about BioNTech vaccination, right? Let's go for the recent example. We had Corona, what happened? Who found the Corona vaccination? It was a Turkish couple, a Turkish man and a Turkish woman who are living in Germany and were researchers at their own lab called BioNTech, and they found the answer. So as a foreigner, as an immigrant, you have all that option. I would say Germany is the old American dream. Now it's the German dream. You have all the options as a foreigner to really thrive and grow. Germany is welcoming to international professionals, and you have facilitated family reunion. Family doesn't mean mama and papa. Family means wife, husband, and children. If you have wife, husband, and children, they can join you when you have a job in Germany or when you are even a student. Income levels in Germany, that's probably interesting for all of you to know. I have listed a few of the jobs which are highly sought after in Germany: specialized doctor, IT project manager, general practitioners. General practitioners means basically a general doctor, right? Engineers, junior IT specialists, nurse, and in the end, caregivers at hospitals. The salary range goes from 30,000 per year to 150,000 euro per year. What you receive at the end of the day in your pocket after all the taxations and stuff is ranging from 1,700 euros per month for a caregiver, around 2,000 euros for a nurse, and it goes all the way up. For engineers, you have over 3,000 euros on average, and for a specialized doctor, it's around 6,000 to 7,000 euros per month. Sorry, these are monthly salary. I think per mistake I said year. So these are monthly salaries. The message here is, regardless of which of these you are, you have good living standards. You can have an apartment and a good car, and travel and have a good social life. Money is not that scarce. That is not the problem. The thing is, you need to be really professional on top of what you are doing. All right. That said, average salary in Germany is 2,100 euros per month. You have facilitated permanent residency and citizenship in Germany. The whole goal of Germany to invest in you as a student or as a professional skilled worker is for you to stay. Nobody here wants to push you out, unlike many other countries. Blue card holders can get a permanent residency in Germany after 21 months. Receiving a blue card has its own conditions. You need to have a certain level of salary and all this stuff. But also, if you study in Germany and finish your studies and get graduated, you can in 2 years get your permanent residency in Germany. Citizenship of Germany comes after 6 years, roughly. I mean, legally 8 years, but you can apply after 6 years and get a German citizenship if you want to. It's not a must, it's if you want to. That said, again, learning German in Germany to prepare for your career path is a possibility, and we would be more than happy to assist you with that. Thanks a lot. I tried to cover both path, the academic path and career path, and I would be looking forward to your questions.
Okay, Arzhang. Maybe I want to talk to participant for a few moment.
Absolutely. Go ahead.
Oke, untuk para peserta, tadi informasi sudah disampaikan oleh Mr. Arzhang yang saat ini ada di kota Berlin. Dia juga menginformasikan tentang bagaimana program untuk Achieve University Pathway, yaitu ambil dengan bahasa Jerman bisa mendapatkan peluang untuk beasiswa kuliah gratis, baik itu S1 ataupun S2. Oke, lalu juga di sesi yang sebelumnya tadi, di terakhir kali itu ada sesi di mana dia menginformasikan bagaimana peluang untuk bisa bekerja di di Jerman. Pastinya di kedua syarat itu kita membutuhkan bahasa Jerman. Oke, nah level bahasa Jermannya sendiri itu mostly sih di level C1 atau C1. Oke, nah kalau untuk kita orang Indo yang memang belum ada pengalaman bahasa Jerman, belum pernah kursus bahasa sama sekali, itu ya bisa dimulai dari Indonesia dulu sampai dengan A level atau B level, ataupun bisa belajar online sama Alpadia. Oke, tapi kalau misalkan nanti ada rencana untuk ke Jermannya langsung, itu saya kasih tahu juga, itu minimal teman-teman di sini udah harus menyentuh level B1. Oke, nah untuk teman-teman di sini, di sore hari ini kalau misalkan ada pertanyaan kepada saya atau Mr. Arzhang, silakan tinggalkan di kolom chat, atau boleh unmute, yang pastinya speak in English ya. Oke. Oke, sir. Oh, there's a question for you, Arzhang,
Okay.
from Salma. Yep.
Yes. Salma, how much does it cost to attend Alpadia German language classes? That depends on the length of German classes that you book, right? The lengthier it is, the less it costs per unit, so to speak. But you should consider some 400 to 600 euros per month, 400 to 600 euros per month, only for your language courses. And we're talking about 20 hours per week, right? Every day, 4 hours per day, 5 days, right? That is around 400 to 600 euros for the language course. I hope I have answered your question.
Okay.
Now there is one thing, wait, okay. How do we help students show the bank statement and block account annually? As you mentioned, it is required to show it every year. Easy, okay. There are certain providers in Germany. They are called Sperrkonto or blocked account providers. There are German banks working with Deutsche Bank or Commerzbank, you know, the well-famed banks. What you do is you transfer your money from home country in this level, like this 10,300 euros roughly. They block it. It's a certain type of account. And they issue a letter for the immigration office saying, this student has paid this amount to us. We have blocked the money. And we promise whenever the student is in Germany and opens a current account means a normal account with the card and all the stuff, that we will transfer 1/12 of this money every month to that account. That is how the process works. So it is your money, but you cannot fully take it out at the same time. No, every month, 1/12 will automatically come to your current account and you can use it for your living expenses. Later on, once you start working and all this stuff, it's possible to show to the immigration office, come on, I'm working as a student, I'm making money. I don't need that money in my account. This is all possibilities there. What I heard from others is that after getting a B2 in German language, we need to get Studienkolleg before uni. Is that true? Okay.
I think that's a good question for you, Arzhang.
It's an important question, actually, yes. Because Studienkolleg is a big topic. Usually, with a high school degree from Indonesia, you need to go to the Studienkolleg. Now, this Studienkolleg, what is it? It's a bridge between your high school and German higher education. It's usually 1 year, let's say 9 months study program, 2 semesters. It's at a university usually, and it's a separate building, right? Let's talk about, for example, FU Berlin, Freie Universität Berlin, right? One of the most famed universities in Germany. On the campus, there is a building called Studienkolleg. You go there. It's almost like high school. You have to be there every day. It's not like university that you decide, today I don't feel like going there. No, no, no. You have to go there every day from morning till afternoon. They teach German and the disciplines related to that, what you want to study in Germany. For example, if you say I want to do engineering, it will be physics, mathematics, chemistry, IT. If you say I want to study medicine or biology, it will have biology in it instead of, for example, IT, right? So it will be really things that you need in order to be able to sit at the university and understand what professor says. And guess what? Some people see Studienkolleg as a barrier, but it's not a barrier. It's actually a blessing. Because if you jump into German university via German language, it's really tough to understand what professors say. But if you have this 1 year of preparation before that, yeah, it's perfect because you get the vocabulary, you get used to hearing German, not the daily German that you learn at Alpadia, but the specialized German, mathematical terms, physical terms, right? And this helps you a lot. Studienkolleg has an entry test. We have public Studienkollegs and private ones. The public ones, there is a bit of competition, a bit, not that much. If you are with us, we will show you the way. If you are sincere, if you are dedicated, you will make it to the public ones. So you don't have to pay tuition fee. There is an entry test. Entry tests are separate. So in TU Munich, the entry test is different than Hamburg. The Hamburg is different than Heidelberg. The dates are even different. Application process is different. It's a little bit of a, puzzle. But we are there. I know this process inside out, and I help you out, right? So with that, you get invited to the entry test of Studienkolleg. You go and take that test. It's usually only German. And if you want to study medical or technical stuff later on, it also has mathematics. It's not high-level mathematics. It's at the 8th, 9th grade maximum, but in German. So you need to know what is a circle in German. You need to know what is a triangle in German. You need to have that vocabulary. We have, by the way, a preparation also at Alpadia Language Schools for that. Mathematics test of Studienkollegs. We have a two times 4 weeks preparation period even for that. Then you enter Studienkolleg for 9 months. Pass the final test at Studienkolleg, which is called FSP. And with that, you can apply to any university in Germany for those disciplines that you opted for. So it's either medical stuff, so chemistry, biology, medicine, psychology, whatever, or it's technical stuff, anything regarding engineering, mathematics, physics, and stuff. Or you have humanities sciences, so sociology, also psychology, things like that. Or you have economics, banking, finance, things like that. So these are the fractions, but we help you with all that. Don't worry. You just tell us what you want to do in the future. We show you the path specific to yourself. Do the pre-evaluation. Pre-evaluation is free of charge. You will get a clear understanding of your costs and your process, how long it takes, what should you do, and all this stuff. That is much easier because now I need to generalize everything for everybody here. But for your single case, when we have the documents, when we know what you want, we can tell you exactly how things work for you. Okay, enough about Studienkolleg because I can talk an hour about that because it's complex. Wait a second, where were we? Here. Michelle asked, but we can apply Studienkolleg more than one, right? Yeah, sure. They are separate. You can actually, there are 26 Studienkollegs in Germany. Not all of them offer all these disciplines that I talked about. So you need to go for example, 12 of them offer the M course, medical stuff, or some 15 of them offer the T course. So you need to know which one you apply for and what and why, right? The application deadlines are different. The entry test dates are different. Sometimes entry test dates are falling on top of each other. It's a little bit of a puzzle, as I said, but we are on top of that. With us, you don't have to worry about the application process. All right, next one. And thank you, Izzy, for the summary. I see the summary there, wonderful. Then we have, I plan to work there as an au pair, but I still achieved A2 German language. Then after that, I would study to reach C1 in Germany. My question is, can au pair work be accepted if it only has an A2 certificate? The au pair, to be honest, I don't have the answer at the top of my mind now. What is the minimum German requirement for an au pair to come to Germany? But this is answered at the German Embassy's website. It's a 30-second research. If you go on German Embassy's website, the information is there. What are the visa requirements for an au pair to come to Germany? And yes, as an au pair, you can come to Germany, take care of a, let's say, child or two in the morning, and in the afternoon, you go to the language course. And actually, the au pair family is supposed to pay for the language course. If you were interested in that, get back to us. We might be able to help you with arranging things. Get back to Edupac and we will get connected automatically. Okay, that said, as I see, like you said, about studying in Germany, Donita says, and vocational training, is it same with Ausbildung or is it duales Studium or not both? Wow, okay. The questions are getting very exact and very detailed. I like that. you had some fee for the living cost language course, so it's like a preparation fee before we start working in Germany. If we take this program, how long Alpadia will accompany us until the program is finished, or only when we have found a company living in campus? And is it possible, and how to get scholarships? Oh my God, it's a lot of questions in one message. Okay, let's start from the top. I will be quick.
I will follow this guy. Who is it? Dionita. Oh, her.
Dionita, you have a lot of questions. Okay, the Ausbildung, same as vocational training. What is Ausbildung? Ausbildung is usually 3 years long. You work and you study at the same time. It's two entities coming together. One is a training center, one is an employer. They come together and make a curriculum for you. For example, for you to become an electrician, for you to become a nurse. All these stuff in Germany are not higher education. They are not at university, but they are vocational training. As a non-European, since few months ago, you have the possibility to come to Germany to do vocational training, Ausbildung. Nevertheless, Ausbildung is tough. Why? Because you need to find an employer and a training center at the same time. And then they need to sort of prove that they didn't have enough people for their program. That's why they opted for non-European. It's not impossible. It's tougher than the study path. I would go for the study path if I could, to be honest. And then in the meanwhile, I would search for those ones. Now you asked about something called duales Studium. Duales Studium is double studies. That's in higher education. That has nothing to do with Ausbildung. That is really higher education. And there you have two, let's say, bachelor degrees together. That's a double degree, right? That is also tough to get into because there are not that many of them and they are competitive. But in general, duales Studium is really similar to studying in Germany at the higher education, same requirements. So for example, if you need to go to Studienkolleg, you need to go to Studienkolleg to access the higher education. But then after Studienkolleg, you might say, I don't want to do a mono study. I want to do a dual study of two disciplines which come hand in hand together. For example, engineering and management, right? There are some kind of programs like this. And then usually at these dual studies, very often the industry is involved. It's not only at university, but it's very industrial. What I think I answered a part of the message. And then now living costs and also, yes, the preparation period is more expensive because you need to factor in, first of all, your language course fees, but also the fact that you are not an official German university student. That means you cannot work and you cannot get, for example, a dorm room at the dormitory of the university. So these run up your costs a little bit hard. That's the investment phase. But when you enter German university, not Studienkolleg, by the way, Studienkolleg is the same as German language course. You cannot work next to Studienkolleg. I mean, even you don't have the time. You will be really pressured to study hard. But when you enter the university, then the story is different. You don't have tuition fee for language course and all this stuff. You have all the perks, advantages as a student. Costs go down, you know, cinema is cheaper and gym is cheaper. Everything is cheaper. The transportation is already included in your student card. So a lot of costs vanish, sort of. The restaurant at the university is much cheaper for students and so on and so forth. And at the same time, you can work. And there is enough work for students in Germany. The question is, are you ready to do that? From morning till afternoon, study, and then go work also in the weekend. So it's not the chillest type of life, but you learn so much. And also you earn enough money to live off of. So we have, I should give you some numbers. I want to quantify that. I have seen students, from international students, who have come to Germany with some 15,000 euros, 20,000 to that range, and that's it. The rest they have made themselves. So if you're super hardworking and you have that kind of funding, you can count on that. And this number is rather low, right? I don't know, what is the tuition fee in US or in UK or Canada, right? I think pretty much higher than this. And this is a one-time investment. But you need to be dedicated. You need to be good in your studies, in learning a language, in adapting to a new culture, in being away from family. I have seen that some students manage this and very few didn't. But generally, students love Germany. It's a cool environment. You will enjoy it, I think. Okay. Is it possible? Oh, scholarship. I answered about scholarship. Scholarship is, in Germany, because you're talking about living costs. What kind of scholarship? Somebody would cover your living costs? Usually no. There are very few ones, but we don't touch that, to be honest. Okay, let's go to next question, Clifio. Apart from using German language for studying in Germany, do I need to enter an English certificate? There are programs which are taught in English, and there are programs which are taught in German. If the program is taught in German, you need German certificate. If the program is taught in English, you need English certificate. Not a mix. There are few programs which are taught in both languages and master's level. Let's not talk about them, they're exception. For them, yes, you need both certificates, so to speak. Now, there are some at the bachelor's level. Studienkolleg is anyways German. Let's just define that Studienkolleg is German, and automatically you need to learn German with that. But for those who want to directly come to master programs in English, let's say, I highly recommend first opt for the German one. Learn German before starting your English program. Because when you study, you don't have the time for that. And afterwards, you won't have the time either. You have spent your study ticket and you have not learned German. It's so tough to enter the job market without German, I would say. All right, that said, does the cost of living mentioned above include the cost of living with a family? Yes, if you want to pay that. Of course, if your aunt is here, if your sister is here, if your friend is here and they spend for you and they pay the rent for you, of course you don't have the costs, that's clear. But if you need to pay for a roof on top of your head, and if you need to pay for the food that you eat, and of course, this is roughly the price that you need to think of. A room in a city like Berlin costs around 500 euros per month. Shared apartment, a room inside it. If you say, I want a studio for myself with everything separate, you usually need to go a bit higher. Now, if you become a student with a student card and immatriculation, these costs go a bit down. So you can get a room with like 300 euros, you can get a completely separate, tiny apartment studio with some 500 euros. Okay. Summary, easy. Thank you for the summary, wonderful. I see that one. All right, guys, girls, do you have any further question? Anything else? The last word from my side will be, if you consider studying or working in Germany, I suggest that you submit your application through Edupac and get a personalized answer from us. To each of you, we might have a little bit of a different answer. What we do is we connect the dots. Which dots? Your past, your current, and your future. And for many of you, these are different. What you have done, what you want to do in the future, and what actually is waiting for you. We try to show you the best path individually. And this is free of charge. So I would say you can use that opportunity for sure.
Okay, Arzhang, maybe I want to talk a few words to the participant. Oke, untuk peserta, apabila masih ada pertanyaan, mungkin 1-2 kami masih bisa terima. Lalu juga nggak lupa, saya sampaikan, kalau di sini memang ada anak yang masih SMA atau yang pengen S1, itu pastinya kalau untuk kuliah di Jerman itu betul-betul S1-nya dibayar full gratis oleh pemerintah sana. Cuman memang dengan syarat, udah diinfokan juga oleh Mr. Arzhang tadi, kalian harus punya level bahasa Jerman itu ya di minimal di B1, itu bisa berangkat ke sana, lalu masuk semacam student college atau penyetaraan, lalu mengikuti tes untuk beasiswanya, seperti itu. Dan itu juga berlaku untuk yang S2. Jadi kalau misalkan kalian udah S1-nya udah ada, lalu pengen opportunity untuk ambil S2 gratis atau kuliah S2 gratis, sama langkahnya cuman levelnya mungkin agak tinggi, dia minta di level C1. Lalu kemudian baru diikuti tes beasiswanya. Nah, untuk semua jalur itu, kalau perlu guidance, perlu infonya seperti apa, programnya seperti apa, kebetulan di sini Kaplan Edupac bekerja sama dengan Alpadia, ada program University Pathway tadi. Jadi kalian tidak perlu bingung tentang dokumen apa aja Kak yang perlu disiapin, biaya untuk upload dokumen, pendaftaran berapa, itu bisa tanya ke saya atau chat ke kami. Oke, nah lalu untuk tanya untuk peluang kerja di sana, ini sedikit unik caranya. Yang pastinya nomor satu tetap perlu bahasa C1, bahasa Jermannya, tapi juga kita perlu ngecek untuk S1-nya, kita perlu juga cek resume-nya, lalu kita nanti berikan kepada Alpadia di Berlin, biar dia review dan company mana yang bakal panggil, seperti itu. Oke, dari teman-teman di sini kalau ada yang pengen bertanya dalam bahasa Indonesia boleh ke saya. Ataupun kalau malu boleh di kolom chat. Oke. So, for Mr. Arzhang, maybe we will wait 2 minutes again. 2 minutes, okay? It's okay for you? Okay, so Mr. Arzhang, I think, oh, wait, Syafni Hayati. Jadi kerja dulu atau kuliah? Oke, untuk Syafni, untuk S2-nya tidak perlu kerja dulu atau kuliah untuk S2. Untuk S2, kalau misalkan baru lulus S1 terus mau melanjutkan S2, bisa kok. Yang penting punya basic bahasa Jerman ya. Seperti itu. Tes beasiswanya ada 2. Jadi tes bahasanya tadi untuk mencapai level C1. Nah, kalau udah dapat level C1-nya dilanjutkan dengan tes beasiswa itu dari government Jerman. Itu biasa nanti kita bantu daftarkan seperti itu. Okay, Mr. Arzhang, I think we can finish it for today. Check.
Wonderful. And thank you for having organized this session. It was an honor and a pleasure to be here. I hope to see you guys in Berlin and Freiburg soon. All the best, all the success for you, and have a wonderful day and a great weekend.
Okay, thank you very much for the time, and I hope you stay safe there in Germany. Okay, thank you. We see you soon. Okay. Kepada semua peserta, sore semua, thank you buat waktu hari ini. Kalau ada pertanyaan silakan WA ataupun bisa berhubungin Kaplan Edupac. Pak Yan, thank you juga. Izzy,
thank you, Karina.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Arzhang. Izzy.
Thank you ya all.
Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Izzy.
Terima kasih.
Masih banyak yang tanya itu, Richard.